This is Checking In, a show where I, Kaylin Kyle, check in with familiar names and faces from around the world of sport to say hello, chit-chat about this and that, and discuss the challenges of being housebound. Today, I will be checking in with former Everton legend, head coach for Minnesota United, and a man that I know very well, Adrian Heath. Firstly, Adrian, thank you so much for taking my call. Usually you don't answer when I call you. And for people that are tuning in, you're actually my father-in-law. I married your son, but we'll leave that story for another day. You're in Minnesota right now with your wife, Jane Heath. What have you been doing to keep busy? Because there's been some videos going around on our family group chat, and you've been cleaning out the rain gutters. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's one of them things when you're 28 years in married, you keep putting everything off. Because I've never got time to do anything, it's always one of them. I'll get round to it when I have a bit of time. During this lockdown, there's been no excuses, so I've been doing all these things I've been putting off, and we've had an issue with the guttering, so I said, I'll clean it. So I went on the ladder. That was a little bit precarious for me, because I'm not used to doing anything around the house. But it was, I managed to do it, and I quite enjoyed it.
What other odd jobs that has your wife been asking you to do around the house now that you're home 24/7?
Well, I'm on the bins now. I've got all the bins to do, picking up, dropping off, shifting the bird feeder outside. I've had to move that. And so all them stuff that I used to get away with, Kate, never been able to do. Now I've been put on and I've got no excuse. So
you can't hide now.
I've got to be honest. I've quite enjoyed it. I've got to be honest.
I also saw a video of you. You attempted the toilet paper challenge. Now, we've been doing a thing with all the guests that we've had on this show to see how many attempts or see how many times they could keep up the toilet paper with 3 attempts. Now, you sent me the video. Talk us through it. How many attempts did it actually take you to get 18 touches? I repeat, 18 touches. You are now the leader in our leaderboard.
Leader in the clubhouse. It was my third go. I've got to be honest. And I was getting more and more frustrated after the first one wasn't very good. 2 or 3 go. I think I've sort of manipulated the toilet roll a wee bit. It was losing shape. But in the end, hey, 18's not bad. As you said, leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, you are. So you could potentially come out of retirement, suit up for Minnesota United?
No, them days have long since gone.
What are you and your coaching staff doing behind the scenes to keep the players on task?
Well, I think they're on their 3rd or 4th week's workout program. Okay. Josh McAllister, our strength and conditioning coach, and Stacey, the athletic trainer, have done a really good job with the guys. I think it's starting to grind on the players a little bit now as we're working on, but they've been great. The one thing about this group, they're very honest, very professional. Everything that we've asked of them, as they've done, all the social distancing, and you know what players are like. Trying to take orders all the time, but they've been great, and we've told them that, obviously we've got to think about other people at this moment in time, the first responders, the doctors, the nurses who are doing an incredible job. So they've done great, and everything that we've asked of them. I think now they're on Zoom cooking. So I think I'm going to join in tomorrow. I think we've got some breakfast cooking tomorrow, so I think I won't be cooking. I'll be looking in and seeing what the quality's like. But no, we've tried to keep as active as we can, keep them involved with each other as much as anything. Obviously, for some of the guys, it's a wee bit difficult because they're on their own. Maybe a couple of lads from South America who are stuck over here in the home, which is a really difficult time for them. So we've been quite mindful of trying to keep them active, keep their minds active. But on the whole, just what everybody else has been doing, Kay, really trying to keep them active, trying to get them so as when this crazy virus, hopefully we get to the other side of it, we're not a million miles away from having optimum fitness.
Now, Adrian, you just touched on keeping your players active and fit and healthy, but how are you keeping them mentally motivated? I mean, you guys are coming off 2 massive wins already this season, 2 away wins, actually.
Well, hopefully we can keep that momentum going because, as you say, we had a great start, never easy to go to Portland on the opening day. But I think from our point of view is we've given them the program. As I said, they've been very professional. They're working really, really hard. The people who are in closest contact with them, the sports science department, they're really pleased with where they are. They're a really close-knit group, so I know that they've been doing all their, as I said, they've got the Zoom going on plenty of times. They've got the breakfast one tomorrow, which I might join into. But And the most important thing is we're hoping that by the time we get back to getting them on grass in maybe, a few weeks' time, and then we can get 3 or 4 weeks together, that's when we'll really start to work with them as a group to keep them all engaged. Because the most important thing is we can keep them ticking over, Kate, but it's like that sharpness only games can give you when you're back out on the grass. So we're looking forward to getting them back outside.
You were always a leader both on and off the pitch when you played, both in your game and both in your vocal presence, I will say. Who are your main leaders on the field with Minnesota, and are they still doing the same job off the pitch?
Well, we've tried to keep them engaged, and I think, you look at our group now, I don't think it's a coincidence that the group that we had last year coincided with the best results we had and us making the playoffs. The likes of Ike Kapara, the likes of Ozzy Alonso, Ethan Finley, all been in the league a long time now. They know what this league's about. They hold everybody else accountable. So what we've tried to do is make sure that they keep everybody else engaged whilst we're in this lockdown. And I think the most important thing for us is that the day that we get the green light, that we come out the gates with all that same enthusiasm and drive that we had going into the lockdown. So, that's going to be the challenge for us as a coaching staff.
The Minnesota are known as the Loons. Now, who is the most, the biggest lunatic on your team?
I would say that we've got a few, but for varying different reasons. Ozzy's got the mad Cuban in him that once it starts to, things start to go a little bit wrong, he lets everybody know, not only physically, but certainly verbally. Jan Gregus as well. We haven't got a clue what he's saying because he's saying it in Slovakian, but it sounds very aggressive and sounds very mad. And mostly, as I just say, the more experienced part of this group, I would say that they're the ones who are the most vocal. But certainly Ozzy takes some beating, I would think, on the loon on monitor.
Obviously, you were an Everton legend. You've scored many goals for them. What do you think of their kind of weird season, I guess you can say?
Well, they've got a manager. I think even I was surprised that they managed to attract Carlo Ancelotti. He's a guy who's won 21 major honours. The Champions League 3 times and won the league in Spain, in Italy, Germany. So they've got somebody at the helm now who can actually take them to that next level. But we need to get somebody to go with Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison. If we can bring another 25-goal-a-season guy in, I don't know where that guy is, how much he's going to...
It's you.
Yeah. I'd like to be able to roll the clock back a little bit, turn the clock back, but them days are long gone, I'm afraid. But if they can go and get a goal scorer to go along with some of their attacking options, I think they have a chance. But it's not going to be easy because, for 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, it's been tough. But they have the manager now in place.
Now, I want to dive into Minnesota United's Instagram. With this one, I know you don't have any social media. You don't believe in social media. I'm trying to get you to get Instagram or Twitter. I think it would be brilliant. But the first one is Elf on the Shelf, also known as you. They basically made a little statue of you here. Tell us a little bit about this. How did it get started? Who created this idea? Obviously, I still don't have one. I don't have one on my shelf, so I'm a bit disappointed. Hopefully this Christmas I can get one, but tell us a little bit.
Well, you need to keep one near the fire. It'll keep the little one away from it.
That is true.
No, it was, I don't know where it came from. I came into work one day and there was this garden gnome on my desk, and I just thought, what the hell is that? And I didn't even look at it. And then I looked at it a little bit closer and I realized it's supposed to be me. But my sister had him and got it dressed up as a Christmas, as a Father Christmas, and put it as the elf on the shelf. So I'm the ogre for my nieces and nephews. They see me as the bad guy.
This next Instagram post, it's actually with you and Pochettino. Now, I know you guys are friends. What do you think of when he obviously had gotten sacked for Mourinho? Do you think it's a good sacking? Do you think it was a good move in coaches? I know it's a difficult question for you, but take the friendship out of it. Getting a top-class, world-class coach is very, very difficult. Yeah. And Tottenham had one. Tottenham had one of the best young ones in the world. He's going to have no shortage, Maurizio, when it comes around to changing jobs. Is it Man United? Although it looks like Ollie might have turned the corner a little bit there. One of his other old clubs, PSG, if Tuchel leaves there, will that become available to him? The Newcastle United now, with all this money that's being pushed into Newcastle, I think Brucey's done a great job there. But does Pochettino maybe come into their thoughts? The one thing about Maurizio, not only is he a great guy, he's a great coach,
he's going to have no shortage of clubs wanting him. I personally wouldn't have fired him if I'd have been Tottenham. I think that maybe Tottenham building that brand new stadium and not buying players for 2 or 3 windows was maybe the catalyst for what happened.
All right. My last Instagram dive in with you is Minnesota fans at the U.S. Cup final. Now, you guys obviously made it last year. You took on Atlanta. You lost in the final, but you had a brilliant run. Now, with you were at Orlando City at the inaugural season there. Then you went to Minnesota again, another inaugural year. How do you get such good fan support? It's something that's extremely important to you, but how do you consistently engage with fans and keep them loving the brand of the team?
All supporters want to do is see you play like they would if they had the opportunity. And that's what I always try and remind the players. Make sure we give everything on the field and the supporters will stay with us. And if we remember that, through the good and bad, supporters will stick with you.
And I mean, you have some of the best fans in the league. The Wonder Wall at Minnesota United is something I've never been able to experience before in my playing days. I remember I came to a game last season and we brought Hayden down onto the pitch and we got to experience that. And it's just absolutely incredible with what your team's doing there, what the organization is doing there, and what you are producing there as head coach. So thank you so much, Adrian Heath, for checking in with us today. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck when season starts back up. And thank you again for joining us.
Anytime.